So not too long ago, I took a trip back home to Ukraine for the first time since before Russia launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine. If you remember, I was there a few weeks before Russia invaded in January of last year, and I was helping my parents get to the U.S. At that moment in time. But this is the first time that I've been back since that point, and I took my wife with me, and so she was able to see this country that I've talked to her about for a number of years at this point. So it was a really fantastic trip just to be home, to show her my home on that front. And I didn't go to create content. I didn't go to film specific things at all on that front. I took a camera with me just to be able to capture my experience in my time, some of my time there at least. And as you'll see here, there's really not a whole lot of stuff that was captured, like content-wise, that was captured, but some stuff along the way. But either way, here is a little bit about that trip. I hope you enjoy. Today is the day that I have spent the past year and a half dreaming about, and it's finally here. Let's go. Morning from Warsaw. We have arrived here yesterday and are planning right now at least to board the train that will take us from here to a border town between Poland and Ukraine, and then we'll hop on the Ukrainian PolRail service train and cross into the country if all goes well, but well, we'll find out.
Is that it?
Yeah.
How do we get to it?
We can go down and under, or up and over. Preference?
Doesn't matter to me.
Let's go, let's just go down. Thankfully our hotel's like a 10-minute walk from this train station, which is awesome. It's fantastic. No, I did not go about that. Okay, so we've gotten off of the train and we're taking a bus to get between the stop that we've just gotten off of and the next stop, because they're apparently repairing the tracks, and everyone's a little bit confused right now and stuck between translation of what understanding of what's going on, but I'm sure all will be well in the end. Right?
I don't think it's going to the right stop.
We're gonna find out. We just need to get the Shemish in the end. And like, if indeed it didn't, if it wasn't correct, which it absolutely is, your buses are identical.
What she said was that we'll go to we'll take a bus and then we'll get back on the train.
We'll get back, so it's not the same train, it's going to be a different train,
Yeah.
but the same route.
Yeah, that's what I was
And
thinking.
go to Shemish, and so this bus is going to take us to the next stop. So, yeah, it'll be okay. Alright. A nice little hour-long bus ride to the next station. So we eventually made it to the train that would take us into Ukraine, and I booked us a coupe with 2 bunk beds on top and 2 on the bottom, and we were going to share it with 2 other folks. And the bunk mates, I guess you could call them. The bunk mates that we had were fantastic. They were an older couple from Vinnytsia, Russian speakers, and so we were able to communicate pretty well with each other and get to know each other a little bit better. But it was funny because the guy looked at me after about 15 minutes and he said, "I see you've brought all this water with you, your bottles of water." And I said, "Yeah, you know, you got to stay hydrated." And then he stopped me and was like, "No, but where's the vodka?" And then his wife turned around and smacked him and said, "What are you doing? We're not gonna get drunk on this ride." And he laughed and he said he was just joking. We all know that's not really a joke though. So they rode with us from the border all the way to Vinnytsia. They got off, a couple other guys got on, and it was smooth sailing. It is hot as all get out in this train, but that's okay because we're approaching the border. We've been stamped out of Poland and are on the border to Ukraine. So yeah, really exciting. Yeah. We've made it into Ukraine. This is really special. I was honestly a bit worried about getting into the country because I've got Russia as my birthplace of origin on my passport. Internally, I was like, oh man, I don't know if they're gonna let me in or not. Turned out to be that Ed didn't blink an eye at it. So yeah, we're in and on our way to Kyiv. And this train, and it's hot, it's stuffy, but it's been raining outside, and we're near Dnipro in western Ukraine, up in the mountains, and so pretty high up there. It's raining. I don't mind it one bit because it's cooled the air down, it's cooled the train down a little bit, and it helps with the fact that they don't really have AC here in trains. So yeah, but yeah, we have another we have another 8.5 hours of training until we reach Kyiv. So wow, okay, it's really raining right now. We're in Ternopil, quick stop here, and I just had to take a break from the interior of the train because it's just hot, stuffy, and kind of humid as well. And don't want to. I'd like an escape where I can get it. So, sheesh, this is fun. See, I might look like a really nice guy right now, and I am, generally speaking. But I conned my way into the best seat that you could possibly have in a coupe, which is right next to the window where all the air just blows on you. It's amazing. My wife and I kindly offered the older couple who initially were going to be up here the opportunity to swap.
Which is not a con. That's not a con. You just asked.
And they said, well, yes, we would greatly appreciate that, so they didn't have to climb up and down.
We're younger.
And
that's not a con.
And then part 2 of the con was
that's not a con.
Getting my wife to sit on that side.
What's wrong with this side?
Nothing.
What's wrong with this side?
So I could sit on this side with the best seat.
Why is that side better?
The wind just blows up. It's
That's fine.
cool and
I'm good. This is what I wanted. I'm good right now. If I were on your side, I'd be cold.
Mission successful. Chick. Oh yeah. Hi. Gloria. Hey, Gloria. Hey, baby. Come on, baby. Hey. Yeah, let him sniff you. You're going inside. Go inside. Babies. We arrived at Kyiv 5:30 in the morning on that Friday after departing Tuesday evening. Great to be home and see the dogs. Unfortunately, I discovered that one of our 3 dogs that was there at the house had died the night before. She had cancer for a long time, and honestly, we're surprised she made it this long. But arriving, one of the first things you're doing there is burying one of your dogs. That wasn't fun. And honestly, it was the first dog I had ever buried as well. So yeah, so that kind of sucked a lot. But yeah, we ended up sleeping for a chunk of the day and catching up on rest, and then just doing the thing for the next 4 days, seeing Kyiv and going to restaurants and eating wonderful food, and we met up with some friends of mine and just walked around and spent time in the city and at the house, Oh, meow meow. You want to say hi? Oh, look who it is. What you up to? Are you angry? You got airplane ears? No. There he is. Well, it's day 4 since we've arrived here to Kyiv, and I mean this trip's not like a media trip necessarily for this type of content, but I wanted to bring this out just kind of on our last trip here into the city before we depart for Lviv tomorrow morning, and just show you some of the important places of history that have become of notice in the past, at this point, almost 10 years. It's 2023, and what you're seeing right now about Ukraine on the news began 10 years ago, which is just, I mean, that's crazy, because I was still growing up here and studying here, and this place looked a lot different than it does right now. So 10 years later, it's really, yeah, just fascinating to look back on. With everything, and just this square itself is just totally different too. So what was once the Arch of Friendship that Russia gifted to Ukraine in 1982, celebrating the 1500th year anniversary of Kyiv being a city, now is the Arch of the Freedom of the Ukrainian people, and in the center of it a crack has been painted showing the crack and disrepair of what's happened between the two countries right now. In fact, there was a massive sculpture and statue at the bottom of it, right in the middle, that showed a Soviet worker and a Ukrainian worker shaking hands and being friends, and that's been since torn down and taken away. They did that in 2022, last year. But yeah, it's beautiful. Now, this kids just ran into each other way down there.
I was like, I knew they'd run into each other based on the sound, but like, I was trying to find where.
That's funny.
Dude, it was like.
Yeah, man. Great view.
I hope they run into each other again. Dude, my boy's wiggling like he's had 6 drinks. Come on, do it again, do it again, do it again.
Oh, he's
yeah.
going for it, man.
No.
He's just trying to vibe, and the other guy's like, he's like, you know what? This is my time. One of my favorite things that they've done here in Budil is turn the main square into a pedestrian-only, pedestrian-friendly place, and they keep the cars and whatnot from driving on here, and put that big Ferris wheel down there as well, and a bunch of pubs and restaurants have opened up everywhere, turning this into a really great spot to spend the afternoon. But we've walked down from St. Sophia's Square and past St. Andrew's Church down Andrejski Spust, grabbed some dinner at Bazara Hara, and then this really pissed, wasted guy came in. I don't know what he was saying. Doha. I don't know, it's weird. Good dog. Jiptik. Hi. Little one, I love you so much. My favorite one. Yes. Got some glass down here. Thermometer broke off the top window or something and fell and shattered. So, oh man. Yo, straight up, it is like 10:30 at night right now, and you can still see the sun setting in the background. Not sure how good that's going to turn up on film, but you know, with my human eye, I can see it pretty well. So it's probably like high 60s right now, which is why I love the country of Ukraine in the summertime, because it's kind of like the desert. Once the evening hits, it drastically cools down compared to the day. I didn't really plan on biking here in the dark, but traditionally I will take an evening ride or an evening walk. The last night that I am here in my hometown before leaving the city. You know, I have this core memory riding my bike through the forest that is not far from my house, and it was the end of August and it was cold. Like, I distinctly remember this day. It was cold, and I was barreling through the brush of the forest and the pathways, and this was even before like the development had taken place around the area of Kyiv where we live, and so it was kind of empty. It was just me in the path that I've always ridden on. Now, if you're out on the same path, it's totally different. But I remember riding along on this path, and it was 65 degrees, and I was in shorts. And I was in a t-shirt and I was cold. And I was riding along and I was thinking, this moment is never going to happen again. Because like this next year, I knew I was moving to the US for university. And so I remember thinking like, this is not going to ever happen to me again. like I've got to enjoy it. Well, it was very strange. It was me being cold, but understanding that this moment was going to be special, because I wasn't going to be able to really experience it ever again, because I was moving away that next year, you know, before the autumn season had even begun. And so, yeah, I feel that same feeling again tonight. I'm biking through the village and on my way home, and it's chilly, and I'm biking, and it's kind of that same feeling. It's special, and it's not something I felt, but honestly, in the entire time I've lived in the US since I've moved back, it's not something I felt but 2 times. So, yeah, I don't know what the ultimate purpose of that story is, but I'm just glad to be here. I feel things here that I don't in the US, and vice versa. You know, you appreciate both countries for the value that they provide to your life, and that's it. So it's good to be back. Good to be back home. So a big part of the trip that was not captured on the video side was our time in Lviv. It was very short and sweet, just 2 days, but my best friend Will, if you might remember him from the Nikolaevsk series that we did in Alaska together, he was my my travel companion for that trip. But he was in Lviv studying Ukrainian for the past 2 months, and I went when I did, so our paths could cross before he left back for the US, and before I got busy. But we were in Lviv together. We got matching tattoos of the Ukrainian Vyshyvanka. We got a local artist at a shop there in Lviv to design this for us, and then on the interior band of this, let me see if I can. We got a Ukrainian artist to design us this band. And then we got the inscription on the inside of the forum, Ruski voynik Rabalidinohui. If you remember from Snake Island, that little moment as the war was beginning. So that was a really neat thing to be able to do with Will in Lviv. And then we spent a few days in Croatia. I'm in Croatia right now. That guy's mowing his strip of grass. Hanging out with his sister for a couple of days. It's beautiful. The idea was to spend 4 days in Croatia to spend time with my sister and just hang out for a bit, but I got really hella sick. And I was spent 3 days on my deathbed, it felt like, to me at least. And then we flew back to the US. I was still not feeling well, I was still ill. But I had 2 days. I had 2 days to recover before a wedding that I needed to film that weekend. And so the turnaround was really very fast. And since that point, it's been go, go, go. And now that the summer's kind of come to a close, I've actually had time to process a bunch of this stuff and film this and put this video together. So I'm thankful for that now. Yeah, I'm already excited to get back to Ukraine at some point in the future. Not sure when that'll be right now, at least, but yeah, what a trip of a lifetime. I feel like most of the trips and experiences I've had have always been trips of a lifetime, so yeah. Oh, by the way, if this video is out of focus or blurry, I'm using a Rokinon 24mm fully manual lens, and it's really tough to gauge focus on it right now because one of the elements is broken, and then it's still manual focus, and I can't even reach where it is right now, so I can't really focus very well. I've got like indicators on the screen telling me what's in focus and what's not in focus, and yada yada yada. But thank you for bearing with the imperfections. My cat, what are you doing? My cat's going crazy right now.